And that's a great question. And I think philosophically, you know, 80% of the people in Oakland don't have kids in the Oakland schools. We've done studies to say only out of the 70,000 plus kids we have in the city, only about 54% actually attend Oakland schools. So there's a lot of people that technically don't have a vested interest in the schools. When I was 18, I ran for, and I'm going to get to your question, but I got to throw this in there. When I was 18, I ran for the school board when I was class president at Skyline. I was a student representative on the school board, and I actually got 642 votes. I spent $86. So I got a few votes, and I'll never forget this. Mr. Maffeo, I don't even know his first name, he owned Toscano Bakery, and unfortunately he's passed on. But here's that Oakland guy, Oakland businessman, and he raised the same question. He said, look, why the cities and the businesses, and I'm going to throw businesses in as well because I think they're an important component, why aren't they supporting the schools? Because it's in their interest to support schools. So even though you may not have a child in the school district, you may not, you know, didn't have a good positive experience in your own school district, it's very important for the city to embrace the schools themselves. Now, all the city council people in our district, we have 3 candidates running for city council in District 6, are all saying the same thing in the sense that it doesn't stop at the school site. The 2 reasons I believe that people don't come to Oakland Public Schools and they live in here is the perception that it's a lousy school district and the perception that it's going to be unsafe. That if I'm going to send my, you know, Jose or, you know, Japari to school, that they're going to be able to be safe at school and they're not going to have those kind of problems. So that's how the city can help in. I mean, the schools are, you know, you look at the history of schooling in the United States, the school is the head center of the community. Well, it's still the center of the community, but there's a lot of our schools have some surrounding areas which aren't productive. There isn't enough jobs. There aren't enough retail development. There's not, you know, there's perception of, you know, there are crimes. I mean, a lot of our schools sit in areas where there's a high crime rate around it. So the city has to be involved in that sense. They have to be able to kind of, when the child leaves the school, that they'll be able to be embraced by the city and come in there, and they need a better partnership. A lot of times when we talk to city council people, they want to use the schools, you know, use the school sites themselves for actual functions or things like that, which is nice, and we want to do that, but we also want to have that reciprocity with our schools being able to use the parks or being able to use other city buildings. But the grand scheme is there's a lot more important issues than that. So why I'm really a huge supporter of Tony Smith's new proposal about these new schools is because we're going to force the city to have to bring in some resources, you know, so that the schools themselves will have the dental clinics, will have the health clinics, will have job training, will have legal services, all these other components that we need in our city to make a vibrant city. I mean, I agree there is a disconnect because you have 2 separate boards, and you know we just focus on education. Well, city council is another myriad of issues, but you know, there definitely needs to be a more comprehensive plan. And I don't have the 3 straight answers how we're going to make that happen, but I do believe that working with the city will be able to get that and get the positive leadership. And I think really our leader, Tony Smith, is the guy to make that bridge. So.